Hello and welcome to today's presentation. This presentation is going to be a Pecha Kucha explaining my personal pedagogy for teaching with technology, and I'm going to be doing this through the TPACK framework. And just so we're clear, the TPACK framework is the connection between your technological knowledge, your content knowledge, and your pedagogical knowledge. The first area I'd like to talk about in my TPACK is my content knowledge. So over the last 3 years, I've completed my science degree majoring in mathematics. And because of this, my strongest content area is mathematics. I've always loved math, and as a teacher, I want to pass this love of mathematics on to my students. And a great way to do this is through technology. That brings us to my second area of content knowledge, and that is computer science. Computer science was required for me to be taken in my science degree, and I honestly couldn't be happier. In these courses, I was introduced to coding, and this is going to be a big part of my teaching with technology. I want to introduce students to coding and this way of thinking. And that brings us to my final area of content knowledge that I'd like to share, and that is geography. I've always had a passion for learning about the world, and geography was my minor in my undergrad. In my classroom, I hope to pass on this passion for the world through the use of technology. That might be maps, that might be some online tour programs, but whatever it is, I want to pass on that love for the world and the people in it. And that brings us to my pedagogical knowledge, the how. How will I be teaching the content we just talked about? The learning theories displayed on this slide are just how I'll do that. My students and I will be learning through experiences, both personal and in groups, and through different projects that cater to different learning styles. And that is what these learning theories here explain. The learning theories on this slide focus more on the collaboration side of education. And collaboration is a big focus in my classroom. The more students can work together, the better they learn, and the more they develop relationships with each other, which I find makes the classroom such a more engaging and welcoming place for both the students and myself. In order to accomplish the goals of these theories, I will be using different instructional strategies and teaching methods. My main focus is gradual release of responsibility. So that's where I do an example on the board, or maybe I run through an example first by myself, then allow some student interaction, and then I give it to them to learn on their own. I give them all the tools that they need, and then they can explore the topic on their own. And to accomplish these goals through assessment, I will be using project-based assessment for the most part. At the end of a unit, have the students be able to collaborate or work together to present how they have mastered the unit's ideas. I find that tests and things are very limiting and don't allow all students to shine, and I want every kid to shine in my classroom in ways that they can. And that brings me to my pedagogical content knowledge, or how I will effectively engage my students in the learning concepts and skills of the content we earlier talked about. I will accomplish this through the use of scaffolding, differentiated teaching approaches, and through collaboration. I find these methods to be effective because they slowly allow the students to build confidence in the subject area. They get to work through collaboration. And in my classroom, because the assignments can be catered to all different types of learners, all students feel success in accomplishing these tasks. And that brings me to my technological knowledge. Ever since I was a child, I was fascinated by the internet and electronics. And because of this fascination, I spent lots of time using technology, apps, and the internet, and I want to pass on this passion to my students. So I can do that through using engaging apps and new technology in the classroom, and also instilling collaboration through these technologies. And now for my technological content knowledge. That is how I'm going to use technology in math, comp sci, and geography for deep and lasting learning. And I would just like to take these next 4 slides to highlight the websites and apps that I've encountered and used most in my experiences so far in my career. First up is Desmos. This is a free to use graphing website that you can integrate into your Google Classroom. So you can push out assignments into your classroom, and it's very easy. I use this every single day in my high school placement and multiple times over my undergrad and my math degree. It's easy to use, engaging, and I just love it. Next up is Khan Academy. This free website has lessons of all levels of mathematics all the way up to university levels in short, engaging videos that are able to be accessed at any time. So I use this in my high school placement to give the students to supplement for my lessons just so they could fully understand it, and I love this website. Third is Code Academy. This free website offers lessons to learn tons of coding languages, and similar to Khan Academy, the lessons are short and engaging, but these ones offer questions at the end of these to deepen understanding. I use this to learn Java in university, then to learn CSS and HTML on my own. It was also helpful for the students in my computer science high school placement to help learn what we were doing in the classroom. And last up is YouTube. I don't need to spend a whole bunch of time explaining what it is, but it's free to access. It has videos on every imaginable topic. My wife and I have used it to learn lots of things around the house, or even I've used it lots of times to deeper learn a math concept. But it also allows students to post and collaborate on videos and comment on each other's stuff, and I like that aspect as well for the classroom. Brings us to my final piece of my TPACK puzzle, my technological, pedagogical knowledge. And this is how I'm going to use tech to utilize the learning theories that I spoke about earlier in this presentation to accomplish mainly collaboration and engaging lessons through technology in my classroom. Collaboration is going to be accomplished in my classroom using programs such as Google Classroom, Desmos, Google Jamboard, MindMiser, and many other online programs that can be accessed asynchronously or synchronously, so students can work together to create project-based experiences, which ties into my learning theories from earlier, both connectivism and communities of learning. The second part of my tech ped that I'd like to talk about is engagement. Engagement is going to help ease my students' workflow throughout the lesson, just get them right into it and get going. And I'm going to use things like YouTube, Khan Academy, engaging videos, engaging content that can just get the kids hooked and ready to learn. And that's everything, so let's recap my TPACK. I want to share my passion in mathematics, computer science, and geography through tech, and I'll do that by producing engaging and collaborative lessons, and this is in hopes to have the students learn through experiences in a community and working together. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and have yourself a fantastic day.